Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
Thank you. Keep me on my toes. All right, guys, welcome back to fantaCTE, the definitively detrimental fantasy football podcast. Once again, I'm Nick Masick. On the bottom right corner, we've got Lonnie Cox coming up from Miami. On the left bottom, we've got Vital DeJuice, and our special guest this week coming back to the podcast. We'd like to welcome Steve Lamb once again. Thanks for coming in. So, how was the weekend, guys? What an unbelievable weekend of sports.
Yeah. Go Heat.
It's been
unfootball related.
Hell yeah, Heat. Thank you. It's been a while, right?
Not just football, but so many good football games, too. Like, I was there were, like, every game was coming down to the wire, I felt like.
Even the Dolphins and the Bills game, that started off really well.
Dolphins and Jags, you mean?
Jags, yeah, sorry.
Dolphins and Jags. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting in the beginning. Didn't the Jags mop the floor with them, though?
No,
the Jags got the Dolphins killed the Jags. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an even pretty interesting start to the week.
It was also a good weekend in college football as well. There were a lot of like really big games that came down to the last minute. A lot of like upsets. A lot of big, I think Kansas State did what Kansas State always does, and they beat Oklahoma. You know, Kansas State is good for one of those a year. They're always going to beat like a top 10 in the Big 12.
Just knock somebody out of it.
Always, dude. They always are like hanging around. Mississippi State beat LSU. That guy their quarterback threw 620-something yards.
Wow. Shit.
Yeah.
Dude, really? That's great.
Yeah, Mike Leach, he runs the air raid offense. He was at Texas Tech, then Washington State. Now he's at Mississippi State. And everybody was saying that wasn't going to work in the SEC. The defenses are too good. They have 2 good corners, 2 good safeties. But 600 and something yards, set an SEC record.
Damn, that's an SEC
who
record?
else? Texas Tech almost beat Texas, but they went to like I think double overtime or something like that, 62-50. It was a great game, and then UM dominated Florida State, 52-10.
Damn.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
It was embarrassing, bro. It was embarrassing for FSU, to be honest.
That's awesome. Well, I didn't watch any college football. It's just too much.
You guys don't like college football?
I like it.
I like bowl season.
I like bowl season. I love the playoff. The playoff has gotten me re-interested. So, but it's kind of like the NBA. Like, I follow through the regular season, and then the playoffs I watch,
Sure.
Yeah.
My only experience, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
I went to FSU's game last year where they had the record loss to Clemson. With Warren, who's on our league. He took me as season tickets, and all I remember was leaving at halftime.
Warren will never take you again. He's blaming you for that score. For sure.
By the way, okay, it's a long trip, and I just remember sleeping a lot. I don't know.
Seriously, you drove 10 hours just to leave at halftime?
Well, we left at halftime because we ate some edibles. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
All I remember was eating a lot of free food in the stadium, and then falling asleep in my seat. It was fun, I guess. I had a good time, but they got their asses handed to them. Like, I'd never seen a game like that in my life, I don't think, in person. That was bad. Wasn't it like 50 to something or 30? It was something bad. Like, they scored with 3 points, I think.
Wow.
Nobody remembers. So
Sounds
you guys
awesome. I want to go drive 10 hours to take a nap. That sounds fantastic.
Oh, by the way, and it wasn't like drive. It was. He has an RV, so we drove in an RV.
Oh.
And any moment we pulled over at rest stops just to sleep. We're like, we parked. We're gonna. You sleep in the back. It was like driving your apartment around. It was kind of cool.
Sounds great.
That's my college football input. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm super pumped about not just that, but also the NBA, like back-to-back Saturday and Sunday games that were awesome, and the Lakers and Heat both advanced. Like that's the matchup I wanted to see. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I'm super pumped about the finals now.
Did you guys watch the game last night, Packers Saints?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
game it was so good.
Oh, Kamara's I'm so mad I didn't
So
get
good.
Kamara this season, dude. Just
Dude.
watching him. Oh, it's disgusting.
I think that might have been the run of the year. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the Packers kind of didn't even try tackling, but he makes everybody look like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think the opposite. I think they were trying to tackle him. He is the hardest
that
player to
good.
tackle in the
He's
NFL. And
so
it's not even close.
slippery. Yeah, okay. He just makes everybody look like
Luke
they're not trying to
Kuechly
tackle.
wrote an op-ed and like all about Alvin Kamara and how strong and impossible to get on the ground he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at best they're just trying to play containment on him, because you want to overcommit, you look stupid.
They didn't, I was gonna say they looked stupid last night. They did not contain it. They were bad. That one run too. And I feel like we forgot how slippery he was because last year he was banged up a little bit, and he didn't look quite the same. He still was good, but he didn't look the same. They leaned on Latavius Murray a little more. Last night he looked like he did 2 years ago when he just made everybody look just foolish on the field.
He's fantastic.
He also doesn't look like that physically imposing. Like if you just see him, he just looks like a normal dude. He doesn't look like he can squat 580 pounds or whatever. He is insanely strong.
Yeah. And he's just but he doesn't have those super flashy, he doesn't throw out the crazy spins or the hurdles that Saquon does. I feel like his movements are just so subtle that he just makes guys look like they're whiffing all the time or they can't hold on to anything.
Right.
He just makes them look like bad players, makes everybody else look bad. But he doesn't
And he avoids big hits too. He's kind of like Frank Gore. Yeah. He's always just kind of like
he slides off him.
Yeah, exactly. He'll have a long career in the NFL if he keeps that up.
Yeah, he should for sure. Yeah, that was a fun game to watch last night. And I'm gonna say I don't think the Saints are making the playoffs this year. I just don't. They're 1-2, and
What's up with Breeze's numbers?
He's old and not as good as Brady. I think that's
Michael Thomas, not as good as Brady. Get the fuck out of here.
He's not as good as Brady.
Get the fuck out, bro. If Drew Brees played for the Patriots, get out of here. I don't even want to hear that shit.
I don't agree. Actually, I think Tom Brady might be better than Drew Brees.
He is for sure.
I can't stand him, but he's the best.
He's the best.
Tom Brady's not the best, but Drew Brees not better than him.
Easily the
Aaron
best.
Rodgers is better than Tom Brady.
Not. Aaron Rodgers is more physically gifted, but you are
if Aaron Rodgers is on the Patriots, that's unstoppable.
Dramatically.
Tom Brady said that. Tom Brady said that if Aaron Rodgers was on the Patriots, he'd have 12 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
for sure.
Rodgers never had a receiver. You're right, ever.
Just an offensive mind like Belichick, and then Rodgers' arm in clutch time. Game.
With that offensive line and that defense, get out of here.
Dramatically underselling everything that happens pre-snap that Brady does, and also his unbelievable accuracy and ability to lead receivers into exactly the right spots. All those guys, he doesn't have the numbers because he's been winning so many games. If you're winning, you're not going to keep throwing. That's just it. Anyway, there's nobody better in clutch time either. Rodgers, not as good as clutch time. You have one game to win. If you have one drive, you're taking Brady, not Rodgers. One drive.
No.
No? Oh, really?
It has to be a touchdown, or can it be a field goal? Because Brady might get him in field goal range, and then Vinatieri might get him his ring.
No. One drive or a touchdown to win the game. You're taking Brady. You know he's going to execute. He's just clutch.
He might get me in field goal range, but touchdown for sure. I need Rodgers if I need a touchdown.
No way. No
I'm
way.
going Brady on this one.
Yeah. Thank you. So let's talk about wins and losses, though. I think all four of us won in fantasy this week. Or are going to win. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win. Vital, I think you're in very good shape. Also, you're not. It's not definite. Steve, I'm pretty sure you're saying. I think we're all big winners this week.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, I have to really fuck up.
I believe I've already sealed it. I believe I've already clinched.
Yeah, yours is over. I think mine's not quite over, but it's almost there.
Mine was close though. Mine came down to really, obviously I have another player to play tonight. I have Lamar who's going to play tonight, but mine game was neck and neck for a long time. At one point, Warren was leading by 40 points.
Yeah, I saw that. Warren's got a solid team.
Oh, your defense, dude, came through.
27 points.
Did you
That's
even?
ridiculous.
Did you draft them last again? Is it your last draft?
And I was about to I think I was between them and the Broncos or some other thing. I mean, they were way down there on the board. And again, lucky again this year.
Well,
crazy.
I mean, you can't play the Jets every week though.
No, but I mean, even last week they scored. I think they scored 18 points last week too.
Yeah, no, they're a good defense. I think you're going to be fortunate to have them all year.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Steve, you had, I think, the free agent pickup of the week.
Hell yeah! I didn't even know what I was doing. It was fantastic.
Did you waiver Rex Burkhead? Steve picked up Rex Burkhead and started him in his matchup.
It was crazy, dude. Like 30, and I felt it too. I felt Rex was gonna have a big game.
Yeah.
The deal was, I have so many guys that are out and injured. Yeah, I have three guys on an IR. And the rest of my bench sucks balls. Some of them are hurt and questionable. So I needed a running back, and I go pick this guy up because he was projecting 12. I'm like, all right, I'll take him. I don't know who he is. Wow.
How many points did he get for you? What was it?
30 plus.
30.8. 30. And I had two guys. I'm winning right now. My Buffalo defense got 2 stupid points. Yeah, and somebody else did fuck all too.
Dude, that Buffalo Rams game was fun. Did you guys watch that one?
I didn't see that one, actually.
Buffalo, first of all, I think Buffalo's legit. We were talking about them earlier.
I was talking about them in the preseason.
Yeah, and I think they look even more legit than I expected them to. Coming back against the Rams, man, that was some game to watch.
Really?
A lot of fun. Right. Oh, dude, they were down.
No, they were up. They were up like 28-3 or something like that. Right. The Rams came back. But then Buffalo came back again and closed it out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man, there's so many good games yesterday.
But Josh Allen, I mean, I'll say this every week. Josh Allen is the truth.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I stand
correct. I mean, I've said this a couple times now on the podcast, but I saw him in person. And when you see a quarterback in person, it's kind of like it's a totally different perspective. But I saw him in person. I had really good seats, and I saw him in person, and he looked strong. The ball had a zip on it. A lot of players don't the ball has a certain quality to it, but he has that Dan Marino zip of throwing the football, which not a lot of players have, even professional quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Josh Allen is going to be very, very good.
Even some of the greatest quarterbacks don't have that same.
No, right, exactly.
Fly they're accurate. They got touch, stuff like that, but they don't have.
But there's one specific play that I saw, one highlight that I saw where Josh Allen is running to the right and throws across his body to the left to a receiver running the same direction as him. That's a very, very hard throw to make, and he does it on the fly in the NFL for a touchdown. That's a very impressive play.
Yeah, that's one of those plays they tell most quarterbacks not to even try.
Right, exactly.
You don't do that.
You get an F on in the film room for that throw.
Yeah, right. I was super pumped because I won everything this week. I went 3-0 in all 3 of my leagues. Dominated all of them. Pats won. My bandwagon Bucks won. Brady's starting to look pretty good. What else? I did a 14 teaser this week, which I usually do starting week 3 or week 4. Do you guys ever get into that kind of stuff? 14 teasers are fun because
you actually bet, Nick?
Yeah. I do every week. Usually I do a $50. I don't go big, but a $50 4-team teaser. You got to get all of them right, but you get 13 points per game. But you have 13 extra points, in favor. You take the normal spread, then you get 13 more in whatever direction you want to go. And then but you got to hit all 4 of them. I crushed my 14 teaser. I've been doing this for years, and
So how much money did you make?
Just 50. It's 50 if you win, 75 if you lose. So you got to hit 3 out of 5 to break even. And I think the worst I've ever done was last year, and I just broke even on the whole season. But I don't start until week 3 or week 4. So I had my first week. I did a 14 teaser. I hit that one too.
Is this on DraftKings or on?
No. I do that on Bet Online. You have to go through one of the actual betting sites or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not a big gambler, but I do 4-team teasers from week 3 through probably the middle of the playoffs.
A lot of teasers, man.
Teasers are fun.
Right?
And I actually, so there's a bookie that I used to do it with in Key West. They stopped.
Oh, this is already starting to sound shady.
So the guys stopped doing teasers like the second year. And it wasn't because of me, but other people were, but like because we were hitting on them so often. Like I think I went 13-3 one year at these 14 teasers. And the next year, like, yeah, we're not doing those anymore. We're not doing teasers. Yeah. I also hit him with a preseason Patriots Super Bowl bet, which I only done once, and I won. So I'll never bet on that again. Anyway, what else? I beat you guys in QB Pick'em. Let's talk about that. Our worst QB.
Dude, I am not on. Like I don't have the groove for the Pick'em yet.
You need to figure it out because you have been by far the worst.
And I also everyone I've switched from, like I'll be like, oh, should it be Daniel Jones or should I be? It's all like I need to go with my gut.
Always
I keep
the other
switching
way.
it up.
Yeah, because Daniel Jones was he the worst this week?
I think so. He got like 6 points, I believe.
Yeah,
maybe 8.
I think he got 8. You still would have lost, but it would have been much closer. Steve, you're going to do the QB Pick'em with us this week too. So you got to pick the worst. Remember we did that last time.
Yeah.
Worst QB.
I don't know how I did because I didn't pay attention.
I forget too, but you picked a bad QB for sure. Val, me and Vital were real close. It was kind of like the opposite, the flip-flop of the DraftKings.
I knew he was going to choke.
Driscoll was awful. He got like a 6. What did he get? I think he got like a 6.8, or 6.4, and Darnold got a 5.8 or something like that. It was awful. Oh, man.
I just need one more interception from him.
We'll take Darnold any week you guys don't choose him. I'll tell you that right now.
And whoever I pick ends up having their best game of the season.
You picked Kirk Cousins, though, and I think he was due for a pretty good game.
And then the week before that, I picked Mitch Trubisky, and he went off.
That was just an.
And then he's cursed, so maybe now pick him again. You got to.
No, now he's benched. He's not playing anymore. Nick Foles is
That's
the
what
starter
I mean.
now.
So pick your next guy again now.
Is that official? Is Nick Foles official?
That is official. Nick Foles is now the starter.
Good. Big Dick Nick. I'm glad he's.
Did you guys see that post I put on my story about Nick Foles with his visor?
I didn't see it yet. No.
Bro, his shit looks so cool.
It looks so dope. I thought as soon as he came in the game, I was like, oh, is he going Jim McMahon on us? Like that is.
Yeah.
Jim McMahon was the
swag.
First, yeah, just I don't. That's one of my first memories of all time. I was like 5 years old and watching Jim McMahon play against the Niners, and I was like, oh, he's so cool. He's the coolest.
Dude, I mean, the NFL, they outlawed the dark visors for a while, but now that they're like letting them back in, they are. Oh, I love football equipment. Like I love like all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
that
I'm a big geek for that.
The big jackets is what I also remember from being a kid watching football.
Sure.
Just like the big, like the guys that smoke coming, like their breath looking like smoke.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, those are
they had the big collar. I love those. Like,
the cowboy collar, like the big thing on the neck.
Yeah.
I actually wore that in high school.
It was out of style when you did it by like 15 years, man.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a pain in the ass. It like didn't help at all. It like, I just couldn't move my head.
And speaking of being cowboy style, out of style for 15 years, can we talk about it, Lonnie? Do you want to talk about it? I see you representing still. Did you watch the game? Was it hard for you?
Of course, I watched it. I ended up streaming it, which I felt zero guilt about.
No, yeah. You got to watch it, yeah.
It was just like, that game is what being a Cowboys fan is like.
That's what it's all about.
It's like you've got the potential to beat the best team in the NFL every week.
Yeah.
And you almost do every week.
Yeah.
And then you're just an idiot. You just do stupid shit. They just cannot get it together.
Man,
like, I don't know if you guys watched the game.
He scored 5 TDs.
Yeah.
So there was about 3 or 4 different opportunities where we stopped the Seahawks on third down. Yeah. But we had a stupid penalties, kept extending the drive. We missed 2 extra points. Mm-hmm. Would have changed the landscape of the whole game.
Yep.
Stupid play calling. Ezekiel Elliott, I think, is hurt, but they're not saying something because he dropped like 3 or 4 passes.
Yeah,
he was just off.
Yeah, there were a couple weird things. That Pollard fumble on the when he brought it out and then fumbled on the goal.
And then also we were doing we did a lot of movement on the offensive line. They moved Zach Martin to the right tackle. They put in a rookie at center. Whenever you put in a rookie at center, a new center, it always messes things up.
Yeah.
So it was a close game, but came down to the last play, and
yeah, it was a good game to watch. But man,
it was. That's always a great game.
Oh, yeah. Seahawks, Cowboys is always fun. I always tune in.
And Russell Wilson, man, is just so fun to watch. I love watching Russell Wilson. He's so good.
So this could be his MVP year. I mean,
I think it's a lock. I don't think it's honestly even close. Who else is competing with him?
Listen, it's really early.
Tonight that are playing that are pretty good,
Yeah, of course. You got Josh Allen is also doing well, but Russell Wilson has 19 touchdowns already.
I know. I mean, but remember last year, he was balling out in the beginning of the season, and he fell off the last 3-4 weeks. And I don't know if they were backing
14.
off. 14.
19 is too much. Whatever. It's 14.
Yeah. But he set a record, I think, for the first.
It's the most touchdowns through the first 3 games in NFL history.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely on pace, but he was on pace last year, and then Lamar overtook him. So I think the guys tonight are going to have something to say about the final MVP race.
But now it seems like him and DK Metcalf have really kind of solidified their relationship. Tyler Lockett is always,
open for some reason. He was open the whole game. He just forgot to.
Did you see the metric that they said? They showed a metric on screen that said that he gets the most yards of separation in the NFL.
Well, it's because they just didn't cover him last night. So.
Well, the Cowboys are garbage, and they always are in the secondary. But it says on passes over 40 yards, no receiver gets more separation than Tyler Lockett.
That's crazy. That's a crazy
stat. And they've got Greg Olsen now, Chris Carson. They're just a solid team, man.
Yeah. And they got – Carson got hurt, though. He's one of the – let's do an
injury roundup. On a really shitty, dirty, disgusting play.
Yes. Thank you as a Cowboys fan. By the way, speaking of Cowboys fans, my roommate did say, I think I told you this, that you can come over and watch the Cowboys lose anytime you want. So more than happy to have you over here. We got the big screen, and we got a small screen set up to watch basketball or flip-flop. I might did that last night. I actually got a 27-inch right next to my 80-inch, it's sports heaven right now. All right, so bringing that up, let's talk about injuries. Steve and I were talking about injuries this morning. A couple of your guys got hurt again, Steve, I think, and a couple of my guys got banged up. Chris Carson was one of the biggest injuries that came out. Dirty play from some Cowboys, who knows, just twisted his leg or something. It was a knee injury. Hopefully it's not that bad. But
they said today it's just a knee sprain. He should be okay.
All right, good. So nothing too serious, but who knows? He might be out. They have Carlos Hyde backing him up. Rashad Penny is on his way back from a bad ACL, I think, but he's not going to be back till they say mid-season. But they say he's looking good. Also,
Nick, remind me, Rashad Penny was the one that was drafted high, and was really, really good. And then isn't Chris Carson a 7th rounder or something like that?
Chris Carson's a 6th round pick, I think.
Wow.
Maybe 7th. I don't know. You might, but yeah, he was drafted much lower. But he's been in the league for a few more years.
But he really picked up the slack when Rashad Penny got hurt.
Yeah, well, he's been the guy. Penny was drafted. And he's really been kind of like the 1-2 punch. Penny's been almost he's kind of like you think of him as who's the Denver guy who's hurt right now? Philip Lindsay. Gordon. They've been using him kind of like a Philip Lindsay. He's a great pass catching back. He's really fast. He's big, though. He's much bigger than Lindsay. But they've been using him more of a change of pace, almost like what Austin Eckler was to Melvin Gordon at first.
Yeah.
But Penny might take over that backfield at some point. He was a first-round pick. He's got first-round talent.
Yeah.
And he's coming back.
Austin Eckler had a huge game as well.
He did. Yeah. He looked good. All right, so Chris Carson, that was one injury. Jordan Reed was another. He got hurt again. I feel like he's always hurt, but he got hurt.
Always.
But he's been playing really well backing up Kittle because Kittle's been out. But he got some kind of leg injury. John Brown, I think he was one of your guys, Steve. John Brown got hurt. What? He was not that. I think it was just an ankle injury, though. It's not super serious. Couple head injuries. Russell Gage, who was Julio Jones was out. Russell Gage.
Yeah, I picked up Russell Gage on the waiver wire this week.
Yeah, you did, or a lot of people.
I did.
You did.
I did.
Him up. Did you start him or no? You didn't start.
No way. Dude, I have probably one of the best receiving cores in our fantasy league right now. So.
Well, so Russell Gage, he had a head injury, so he got knocked out early.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson's another. That was your guy, Steve. Deontay Johnson.
My whole team is. I got 3 guys questionable right now, and 5 out, and on my bench and in reserve. What am I? I'm going to play 4 guys next week.
I don't know what you're going to do. And we even have the 3 IR spots that I set up for COVID.
I'm loaded up with them.
We haven't even had those. COVID hasn't been an issue yet, but everybody's just getting hurt. So, yeah, Deontay Johnson, concussion. Who knows if he'll play next week. A couple big rookies got knocked out. Brian Edwards from the Raiders, Michael Pittman Jr. from the Colts, who was filling in admirably. Both of those guys were starting to pick it up. They both got hurt. And then we got the hamstring club, the fucking receiver hamstring club of the year. 3 more guys. Chris Godwin hamstring, Deshaun Jackson hamstring, and Mike Williams hamstring.
Yeah.
All yesterday.
That's going to happen. It's the beginning of the season. They haven't they weren't conditioning. They didn't have a preseason.
Right. There have been more.
You're going to get hamstring injuries.
Yeah, but there have been more hamstrings than I can remember in the first 3 weeks ever.
Yeah.
Those are all 3 big guys. And then Tariq Cohen, ACL, they think done for the year.
Done for the year. Who else do they have?
So their main back is, I think he's on my team actually, is David Montgomery.
Okay.
And he didn't do much this week, but he's been doing pretty well. And so he'll probably get a big pick. What do you think, Vital? Will you shake your head? You're like, fuck him.
Nah, I have another league. I don't believe in him. He has been shitting the bed. I feel like he had 1 good week out of his 3.
Week 2. Last week he was good.
Yeah, but I don't think he was good his first week.
No, he wasn't great his first week. Well, the Bears weren't good his first week. Which brings me to my next.
If he can only be good when Trubisky's an all-star, then he's not a good running back.
But here's the thing, because Trubisky's not going to be playing. Mitch Trubisky got his feelings hurt this week because he's no longer the starter in Chicago. And I think their whole offense sees an uptick. So I think Montgomery's going to see – because Montgomery's a good receiver, even though they used Cohen a lot. But I think that whole offense gets a boost with Nick Foles throwing the ball.
They always do.
Yeah.
Anytime Nick Foles comes onto the field, the offense comes alive.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yep. So yeah, I would keep playing Montgomery. I got him in 2 leagues also, Vital, but I think he's going to be – I mean, he's a flex option, and I think he'll be a decent flex option. I'll go through a quick waiver list for this week. Steve, you're going to want to pay attention.
I didn't have those.
You did well last week on waivers. I got a bunch of receivers since everybody who got knocked out almost is a receiver. Definitely, by the way, Nick Foles is certainly a potential option if you need a backup QB, if you got a bye week or whatever. He can put up some numbers, right? I mean, loves to throw down the field, and he's got a pretty good receiving core in Chicago and a good defense giving the ball back.
I've also got Deshaun Watson burning a hole in my roster if anybody wants to make me an offer.
Oh, my God. Can we talk about
you couldn't wait to pick him up. I couldn't believe you even said anything. I was just silently claiming his players. I was like, drop him. I got him.
Is he done already? Did he give up on the season?
Sean,
week 3?
No. Sean has not given up. He actually went out and wavered a bunch of guys. He just doesn't know what he's doing, I think. Steve, did we talk about this? Sean dropped his top 2 picks. First and second round pick.
God damn, that just hurts. That's just a painful reality for him.
And Vital picked up Saquon, which is probably the savviest move of anybody. I didn't even think about it because there's no way that I'm not going to – if we have keepers next year, there's no way I'm not keeping Christian McCaffrey. So I wasn't even thinking about Saquon, although I probably should have.
Right. I completely forgot about keepers. I didn't even realize that was
and
an
also,
option.
I have so many guys on IR right now, but I would have made room for Saquon. But
to be fair, I did not know about keepers either. I didn't remember at the time. I was just going to have him on my RR as a trophy to be paid. It wasn't strategic.
There's so many IR spots. Why not? Saquon, he's healing up. No, but we might do keepers next year. Depending on how it shakes out. If we have the same number of teams and we don't have more than a 30% turnover ratio, then we're doing keepers. So you can get to keep Saquon and
nice
flash him in front of Sean anytime you want. Poor Sean. But yeah, no, Sean made an effort this week. He picked up a bunch of guys on waivers. He put them in.
But he also picked up Dion Lewis and got rid of Deshaun Watson.
He's also a Giants homer. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have the benefit. For instance, Steve, this is your second year in the league. You've been way more active on waivers. Like, I feel like you wouldn't have made a veteran maneuver like playing Rex Burkhead this week.
Steve, you said that you've never played fantasy football before this last year, right?
Correct.
Are we all in agreement that sounds like bullshit because of Steve's prowess of fantasy football?
Let me explain how I picked up Rex Burkhardt. You said the word waivers, and I'm like, okay, here's what happened. I had guys that were out. So I moved them to the place where it says IR. Then I went to a thing that says fill, and I pressed fill, and I said, okay, I need a running back. There's a guy who's projecting 12. I don't know what waivers are. It let me take him. I said, he's on your team now. I go, great. I'm going to play him because I have no one else. And that's why he's there. By the way, he's in my flex spot, and the two guys I had one guy at 0.9, I don't know who it is, and some other guy had 0 for me.
Those are the guys who got hurt. Those are the injuries.
Yeah, they got hurt. So thank God I stuck him in my flex. My tight ends were all hurt. So I picked him up, and I said, here's what I went. Maybe I could put him here. Oh, he went there. They let me do it. Okay. That's what I know. Okay?
Just to be clear about this, I spent 2 hours explaining waivers to Steve last year. At one point, we had a long conference call about waivers. So he understands what waivers are. And this is the time of year, though, like where I feel like leagues start to kind of shake out a little bit. Like, we're now starting to see who's going to be competitive, who's not, who's paying attention, and who's not even doing anything at all and has no idea what they're doing.
I think Jay Guy's finally going to bench Kittle.
I don't know if he is. I'm gonna see if we can get Jay Guy on next week because I don't think he's actually fully consciously aware of the last place penalty either. He was pretty flippant about the comments about him doing a spoken word poem. I don't think he may have realized. The funny thing is, he was in one of the invites that I sent as a group message. He was like, yeah, I'm in. And then he like immediately sent me the thing and claimed his team right away and was like super fired up about it. 2 weeks in a row starting George Kittle. Mm-hmm. And he probably could have beat you, Steve, this week if he had made any.
Yeah, it was close.
It would have been close. It's not going to be, I don't think.
I got 2 guys left tonight. I got the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I got somebody else.
Who else?
You're projecting 14, I think.
I think you're pretty safe. Jay's got a kicker left, I think, or something. He doesn't have much.
Andrews, Baltimore.
Mark Andrews, I think you're fine.
You get some scores.
Yeah.
One.
But like what I don't know what I'm doing necessarily. I'm not an idiot necessarily either. But I'm kind of bummed because I got to do a lot of reading now, like Wednesday and Thursday, because everybody on my team, all my bench guys, every other has a newspaper thing, and I gotta figure out because they tell you he shouldn't be played or you should play him. So that's what I got to do. But Lonnie, I don't know what I'm doing basically.
But you don't know what you're doing with great accuracy. Like you make better moves than a lot of people that I've played against. So
my reading comprehension is pretty good. I'll give you. I'm kind of a gambler, so I'm not. I used to bet the games too, but it's just, I don't know. This is all new. I love this because I can watch games. I used to not watch games because it was lame. Now I got I have a reason. I got a guy. Let him go.
It makes every game exciting. That's right.
It's awesome.
So much more fun. You made a huge leap from year 1 to year 2, which is typical.
But I remember Steve doing pretty well last year also, right?
Yeah. After we had our long conference call about explaining what waivers were and how they worked and why they were important. Steve did pretty well last year too. You're right. He did pick it up towards the end of the season and once he figured out waivers. But Sean doesn't know. I don't think Sean knows how to do waivers. I don't think he's paying attention.
Here's what I think is part of it. Sean is going a lot of with his heart. And as a gambler and an old man, I realize that no matter what you guys say, it's a friggin' numbers game. It's all percentages and whatnot. Right. You could just, these guys are going to be better than these guys. And that's because of these numbers. And that's it. So if I go for the high numbers, I'm not picking. I don't know. He's picking. I'm not picking the Giants quarterback. Let's put. And I love
exactly right. That's how Sean is playing. Okay. He's playing it like emotionally, and it just so happens that his team is the worst team in the NFL this year. So it's not a good strategy.
Yeah.
Rob, there's a lot of players that I've played fantasy with a lot of Pats fans, and they will draft emotionally, but it's not like the worst thing in the world to take, a Patriots running back or something like that. Like, you can still get lucky. But I mean, Sean dropping Deshaun Watson for Deion Lewis is might be the dumbest fantasy football move I've ever seen in my life.
Right. I mean, I'm a Giants fan since I'm a tiny kid, so I hate Dallas. But my first pick was Ezekiel,
Right.
I'm like, I'm taking him. That's it. So
I have very proudly never drafted an Eagles player and will keep that going for the rest of my life.
Well, that's not that difficult to do, by the way.
We have 2 homers in our league too that are suffering. Rob is also just bottom dwelling with his Eagles. I think Carson Wentz is awful, and
which is what he deserves for being an Eagles fan.
They're the worst fans in the world. Patriots fans are second, and I am one, but I know, I don't like.
You think they're the worst fans in the world? The Patriots fans?
No, the Eagles are the worst fans in the world. Patriots fans.
But you think Patriots are second? Really?
They're pretty close. I've been to a Patriots game. I know plenty of people in the
because of how obnoxious they are, or what? Or what?
Super obnoxious, just douchebags, just assholes. Okay. Yeah, they're all assholes mostly. No, the ones who move somewhere else are usually pretty decent human beings. But
I mean, the thing about the Patriots is they win, so at least there's some sort of gravitas to their bragging. At least there's some. It's grounded in somewhat of reality.
Right. Now, Eagles fans, I mean, the riots that they had in Philly after that Super Bowl, it was like the worst thing that ever happened to Philadelphia. So bad. Cars burning, people eating feces off the ground. It was just.
Well, that was Cleveland. That was when Cleveland won the
was that
finals. Yeah.
All right. Well, toss up either way. The Eagles fans are not great either. All right, I'm going to do a quick roundup for anybody who's listening and paying attention to waivers this week. If you need a wide receiver, which probably just about everybody needs a wide receiver this week. So let's go through a quick list of guys who might be available in your league. No, you don't need a wide receiver.
I don't need him.
Oh, whatever. Listening. You know what? You can take your my wife.
Amari Cooper. What's his name? I can never remember his name. Arizona.
Let me tell you something. If I get into the playoffs, which is a big if right now, I have to overtake either Steve or Stephanie probably is who I'm looking at, that I need to overcome them. If I get into the playoffs and my receivers are healthy, you're in some serious trouble, man. My team is going to be smoking by then. But for this week, I probably need to find somebody to replace Chris Godwin. We got a couple guys did big things this past week, and probably at least some of them are on waivers. Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah.
Baller, dude. He is. I didn't realize he was a rookie last year. He played like a veteran. He looked like he's that prototypical fast, quick, white slot receiver. Right? Wes Welker, Julian Edelman,
Danny
Amendola. Thank you. Who else we got? What else? Cole Beasley, who's also another one on this list. Cole Beasley also available probably and had a big week. Hunter Renfrow is that guy for the Raiders. And one of the guys who went down was one of their top rookies. So, but he was their leading receiver. He was their leading pass catching wide receiver. Darren Waller, I think, was their leading receiver. He's their whole offense mostly. But
I don't think he did that well yesterday.
No, he didn't. I think he might be banged up. He might have got hurt. So Hunter Renfrow stock is going up. Definitely a waiver wire. Look him up. Laviska Shenault, the rookie for the Jags. He's playing some wide receiver. He's playing some running back. He's getting a lot of touches. He's pretty explosive. They like him a lot. He had a pretty decent week. I don't know if you want to go Jets, but Braxton Berrios.
I was just going to say Braxton Berrios. He's been doing pretty well, man, and he's the similar archetype as Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah,
small slot receiver, quick. He played for UM.
Oh, he did. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who he is. Is he relatively? Is he a rookie, second year?
He got drafted by the Patriots, which I was very excited about. I think 2 years ago. So I think this is his third or maybe even I would say it's his third year in the NFL.
Okay, that's usually I feel like that's a lot of receivers turn the corner in their third year and really start to.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised to see he was on a roster anymore because the Pats. I think they released him, but I mean, I always knew he was built for the NFL.
He's got that mold, and the Jets they're just terrible at receiver right now. Rashad Perriman should come back at some point. He will maybe be their number one guy when he gets back. He was great last year.
You know what, though? Jamison Crowder is not doing terribly for them either.
I think he's hurt, too, though. I think
he is hurt. He is hurt.
So, Crowder and Perriman were supposed to be their guys, and they're both out. So, yeah, Braxton Berrios. Look at him. Cole Beasley, I said him. Brandon Ayuk. I don't even know if I said that right. San Francisco 49ers, late first round, but first round wide receiver draft pick. He had a big week this week. He's just starting to click with that offense, whatever the substitute quarterback was. But he had a really good week. He was a high draft pick, and they expect good things from him. And they're banged up right now. Think about their injuries. Deebo Samuel, he'll be coming back, but he's been out, sitting on my bench in IR. George Kittle's been out, and then you had Jordan Reed go down. They're having a hard time at receiver right now. And, of course, Emmanuel Sanders is now in the Saints. So Brandon Ayuk might be worth looking at. Randall Cobb had a big week for the Texans in a loss, albeit. But the Texans did put up a pretty good fight against the Steelers. And I think Brandon Cooks is still not 100% if he's playing. And then the last guy I'll say, we talked about Eagles sucking, but Greg Ward had a big week. Greg Ward Jr., or whatever he is, because Deshaun Jackson went down. So Greg Ward, another guy you want to look at on your waivers. All right. What else we got? I think this is we're starting to see who's not watching the waiver wire. You can't win. The flat out. Even if your team's not hurt like Lonnie's, you just can't win if you don't play waivers. Steve, you're super active on waivers. All of us are paying attention to that, and you see the teams that aren't, and they're going to start to gradually decline unless they just get super lucky and nobody gets hurt. So it's that time of year where you start to see that separation between the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm. If you're really interested in playing fantasy football and you're not playing the waivers, you have almost no chance.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't see how you could.
Guys are going to start getting hot towards the middle of the year. Now is the time to jump on them, You
have to. Yeah, Vital, we didn't even talk about this on the last episode. Tanked week 1 to have the first pick on waiver wire.
I had tanked after already losing. I had already lost all hope of losing. Of winning, and I'm all like, at least I want first pick on the wire.
And I almost under-tanked you because I could have at that point. I could have benched you guys, but there was nobody that I really was excited about. Who did you even get with that first waiver pick? I
actually did. I got Alan Lazard. I put him on my bench, and he got 20 points. I'm really mad I didn't play him.
Right. No, I was saying he had a big week. He had a big week yesterday because what's his name? Your guy, Steve, Devontae.
Oh yeah, I got hurt.
Devontae's still out with a hamstring, so
I feel like I have homework.
Yeah, you do. If you want, if you don't want to be last place, or if you don't want to be the losers bracket.
Well, I'm learning because of all these injuries is what I'm learning, that you need to pick up the right people and make some moves.
Yeah.
Because last year I didn't make a lot of moves. I just got lucky and made a couple moves.
You made a couple pretty good moves, but you also didn't have a bad team last year.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to figure out one of the things we got to clarify a little bit because we're going to do our picks here pretty soon. But the penalty stipulation. So we clarified that we're going to do a henna tattoo. This is for our podcast competition, Steve. Did I tell you? Did I explain to you the henna tattoo?
Yes, the henna tattoo. I love that. I love it.
All right. So how big? We should decide how big the henna tattoo. This is clarified.
Is it a tramp stamp like I suggested?
It's gonna be under the t-shirt area. Winner's choice. But I think grapefruit size is that about that big, roughly? No bigger than a grapefruit, approximately? Okay. Yeah. I think we should do the last week of February through the first 6 weeks, because it lasts for 6 weeks. So I think the last week of February is when you have to get it. Does that sound fair? So you have to have it all through March. And what do you guys want to do for stipulations in terms of public displays of this henna tattoo?
One night out at one of the comedy spots with us, I guess.
You have to show it at one of the comedy spots.
Yeah, or do one open mic with it, or wherever, somewhere.
So you're talking about a shirtless open mic?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I don't agree to that as current last place. I don't agree to the shirtless open mic. I also have fat
Okay.
titties, so I don't really.
So you don't have to go full Alex Tarnow, but maybe you have to
show it at some point.
Show it on stage at an open mic once.
I'm down for that.
I like that. Like you can make a joke about it. It'll be funny, whatever. You have to show it at an open mic. I think you should also have to display it at least once in a crowded public beach area during spring break, March.
Is that even legal anymore?
It probably will be by then.
Okay.
Semi-crowded. We'll say
How
whatever.
about posting it 5 times, taking pictures of it with a complete stranger and just showing them, at like McDonald's or the gas station. You just got to take a picture, a selfie of you showing this person your tattoo.
I like the idea of making it kind of like a scavenger hunt with your henna tattoo.
One fast food place, one gas station, the track.
The track. Do people still go to the track, Steve?
I used to.
Yeah, they play poker there a lot.
Oh, okay. All right. They don't go to the track for the track, though?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they canceled the dog racing in Florida.
Yeah, I think I heard about the dog race getting canceled, too. All right, so let's come up with a couple stipulations, but we should have – by the way, Lonnie, you're only in last place by 2 points right now, I think. You're only behind me by 1. I don't think you're that far back, or maybe 2.
Okay.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not like you don't have a chance to come back. And you get first pick on QBs this week, too. So that's going to help you. But, all right, so what do we think for stipulations? Let's add a couple to the list. Show on stage one time. Do you like that? Should we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. On stage one time. One public display. And probably one social media post, too, I think is probably all. That ought to do it. Those 3.
That sounds good.
That sounds fair? Okay.
Trifecta.
I got a quick question, even though I'm not in it.
Go ahead.
Henna tattoos are going to show up perfectly fine on you and Lonnie, but not so much on Vital.
He has to get a gold one. We've already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they have those. That's right. Okay. No offense.
Also, fuck you, Steve. I see where your loyalties lie. Not with me.
I'm not loyal. I want it to be fair.
Fairness is, yes, the key here. And gold or silver is what we decide, because some of them have silver, I think, too. Also,
Gold is tacky. Silver's okay. Gold is tacky. Don't get gold.
Then gold it is, for sure. If it's gold, if it's tacky, yes. Whatever. And by the way, if you're in first place, you can make me and Lonnie get whatever color you want to make us get, too, to make it stay. I don't know what the options are. There might be a red one that just looks.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't know much about henna tattoos.
Yeah.
But yeah, so color choice of the winner for the loser. We'll just leave it at that. I don't even know where we're going to get henna tattoos. We'll cover that later, I guess. We'll find that when we need to.
That's some
We can probably order it. We can probably get it ourselves.
Oh, you mean like a stick-on?
No, like we can probably buy a tube of it and have somebody that's artistic do it for us.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I'm sure there's places that are like, because we live in a vacation destination, kind of.
I mean, there's people getting real tattoos right now. So you're talking about because of coronavirus?
Yeah, no, not that. I'm just saying that there are, like, I think some of those real tattoo artists also do henna tattoos. Like, I think
that shouldn't be too hard to find.
Yeah, we'll find somebody who will do it. I mean, because I'm picturing like a son of dicks going around as a tramp stamp. That's what I'm thinking right now. I don't know. Let's run out ideas. All right, so let's do worst QBs, or I'd rather have Kaepernick. And then we'll get to DraftKings. I'm super – oh, wait, we didn't even cover one more thing before we do that. What do you guys need to happen tonight, if anything, what do you need tonight for tonight's game? I'm super pumped about tonight's game, by the way. Anyway, I don't give a shit. I'm so happy. It feels almost like a preseason like an early season Super Bowl. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I need to happen is I need Lamar Jackson to not get negative 30.
It's pretty safe, I think. Steve, what do you need tonight?
I need Baltimore's defense to suck balls because Jay has them.
You're
possible. Pat Mahomes might put up 35 on him.
I was going to say they could, because it's special teams also, they could get a touchdown on special teams or something. Baltimore's defense, they could get a pick six. You never know. Are
you trying to give me palpitations?
I'm just telling you, you're the only one who I think is really in jeopardy right now. Baltimore's
defense. Butker. He should be good for 7 to 10.
Yeah, but they could also, who knows what kind of scoring situations they'll be in. There might be some weird stuff happening. You're probably pretty safe, Steve, but you might be in jeopardy with that Baltimore D.
Well, I have Andrews as the Baltimore. I have Baltimore. I have Andrews. So if they do good, I'm okay too. If he makes any fucking
yeah, but he's a tight end. You never know. All right, what about you, Vital? What do you got? Are you wrapped up this week, or do you need some stuff to happen?
It could be close. It's weird. I'm up by 40 points, but she has Patrick Mahomes and what's that guy? The new running back rookie they have, Clyde Edwards.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I also have Travis Kelce and Marquise Brown. So it's a very delicate mix of things I need to happen. As long as Marquise Brown doesn't get hurt, I should get points. And Travis Kelce is like his favorite receiver for real. That's his boy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, if Mahomes throws touchdowns, hopefully one of them will be to Kelce, and if that happens, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm already up by 40. Unless an injury happens, I'm good.
What you don't need to have happen is him just throw to Edwards-Helaire all night long.
Right.
There's like 90-yard double dip pass plays for touchdowns.
Well, if that happens, then I'm hoping then Lamar Jackson has to throw, and guess who's big perimeter receiver, Marquise Brown. We might catch a couple.
Yeah. You're probably pretty good, but that's a little more interesting than I thought it was going to be I didn't realize which players were in play, and you're going, anytime you're against Mahomes and then Edwards.
It's just I'm way far ahead. That's what makes me feel okay about it. But
yeah, you're pretty safe. But man, they could close that gap in a hurry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Warren, by the way, this week he scored like 165, and it's still. I mean, I just happened to score more, but he scored a lot of points this week.
Warren's team is tough. I am so glad I didn't play him this week because I would have lost by 0.2. That's my score was literally 0.2 below his.
Wow.
Yeah. I would have been so upset if I went 0-3 against that score. But yeah, Warren's team looks legit. We'll have him on. We're going to try to get everybody on from the league at some point as guests. I want to have Jay Guy on next week so we can explain to him what his program's going to be like. But we'll see if he's available. Rob's another guy I talked to earlier today. He wants to come on for sure. We'll get everybody on at some point from our league. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, all right. So worst QB. Let's make the picks. Do you guys know? I haven't even looked at the matchups for next week yet.
I didn't look up yet.
Giants.
The what?
Giants.
Who do they play? Who do the Giants play next week?
Doesn't matter. They suck. I'm a Giants fan. He's the worst. They suck terribly.
He's not that bad usually. I was surprised at how bad he played. I think losing Saquon and Sterling Shepard was out. He's had a rough week. So I think Danny Dimes is actually not that bad. But let me see. Are you guys looking this up? Am I going to pull it up? I'll pull them up.
I am on my phone. I can't look it up at the moment.
All right, I'll pull it up. Let's see what we got for next week. Schedule. Week 4. We'll do all quarterbacks, not just available quarterbacks. I'm going to skip through some of these names. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. Probably not taking those guys. Minshew had a god-awful game. Minshew Mania was not in effect, but he's looking to get healthy against the Bengals defense. So I don't know that Minshew's going to be a high pick, but he's one to watch. Cam Newton, I don't think you're picking him. Patrick Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger. Stop me if you want to hear their matchup. I don't think Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Ryan Fitzpatrick against the Seahawks. Maybe.
No, that secondary is a little banged up.
They're a little shaky. Yeah.
I think he'll at least get in double digits. Ryan Fitzpatrick's not a bad QB. Like the Dolphins suck, but he'll always get like 15 or something.
Yeah.
He's all or nothing, I think. Fitzmagic is better than any QB in the league, but when he's not Fitzmagic, he is bad. Like he's either going to throw 6 picks or 6 touchdowns.
He's going to throw a couple interceptions, but he'll get some touchdowns.
Yeah. Matt Stafford, probably not playing him. Matt Ryan had a bad week, but I think he's playing the Packers. I think he'll probably bounce back. What are you going to do? You have
They keep blowing leads. They keep talking about it.
Dude, they have no
they want that coach's head.
Yeah. Did you guys see the meme I posted today? It was apparently in Indianapolis, they were calling for Jets fans started a chant to replace Adam Gase. They're on the road, and there was only like 800 fans in the whole stadium. And the Jets fans still managed to start a chant to get rid of it.
Let's see how you guys like it.
Right.
It was great. Trubisky, why is he? Oh, because he was listed this week. So we think he's not starting, right? For sure.
No.
All right. So Trubisky's not going to start. Carson Wentz against the Niners. That's an interesting option.
Also very, very banged up in the secondary.
That's true, too. Yeah. Burrow against the Jags. I'm not going to go Brady, probably against the Chargers. Herbert. Is Herbert officially the starter? Do we know?
Well, Tyrod Taylor is out for, I think, 2 more weeks, so we'll see.
Okay. So Herbert's playing the Bucs. I don't know. Bucs defense is pretty good. Herbert's a rookie. That's possible. Nick Mullins. Do we know what's going on with Garoppolo yet?
Yeah,
I think he's
he's still hurt.
Yeah, he's still hurt.
Mullins is playing the Eagles. I don't know if I would pick him against the Eagles. Don't look good.
Yeah, he should get some points.
Yeah. Rivers against the Bears. Now we're getting into it. Danny Nichols maybe, against the Rams. Ooh. That's an interesting pick. Ryan Tannehill against the Steelers. Jared Goff against the Giants. Not picking him. Baker Mayfield against the Cowboys. Derek Carr against the Bills. Carr's looked pretty good. I wouldn't go him.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this game this might be a Thursday night double dip for the bad QBs. Driscoll against the Jets or Darnold against the Broncos.
That game's going to be like 6-9. That's going to be the final score of that game.
It's going to be like a boring. Oh, my God.
But neither defense plays well. By the way, I'm probably not even going to watch. I'm going to go to like an open mic or something. I don't even know if I'll watch that game. But both defenses have been playing really shitty. Both quarterbacks might get healthy against those awful defenses. All right, so what else? So Driscoll against the Jets. Darnold against the Broncos. Cousins is playing the Texans. Oh, here's one. Haskins against the Ravens. That's a pretty tasty pick there. Bridgewater against the Cardinals. And I think that wraps it up. And then Foles against the Colts. I think that's it for starting QBs, though.
Bridgewater's not starting, is he?
Yeah, Bridgewater.
Yeah, he starts for the Panthers now.
Panthers, and he's against the. Hey, shout out to the Lions for coming through against the Cardinals, knocking them off. That was a big time win. And if you think about that drop pass, the Lions could easily be 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we say that every year about the Lions when they're in their first 4 or 5 games. Like they could be 4-1. They could be, because they always have those close games and somehow manage to lose them. But they somehow managed to win one. So against a good team, a Cardinals team that everybody was, already putting in the playoffs. So Lonnie, you get first pick. Who you got?
Danny Dimes.
You're going Dimes against the Rams.
No, Dwayne Haskins.
Oh, okay. Haskins against the Ravens. All right. Those are some tough calls.
Watch. Dwayne Haskins is going to drop 6. He's going to throw 6 touchdowns.
I don't think anyone's throwing 6 touchdowns against the Ravens this year.
That's true.
Vital, you got second place, so you get second pick. Who you want?
I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my old fave, Sam Darnold.
Darnold.
Yeah, man. It's not his fans are calling for his head. It's not your fault, Donald, but it's your coach. You go with him.
Darnold. I mean, he might get benched halfway through the game.
Who's even their backup quarterback?
Oh, Josh McCown, but he's at home in like Arizona or something, so they have to
Texas. That's right.
they have to fly him in if they want him to take over the game. God, all right. So you guys leave me in the heart.
So wait a minute. So they don't have a backup quarterback on their bench?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not 100% about that.
I thought Josh McCown is the Eagles' backup.
Oh, is he? No, I thought he was the Jets. I'm
Pretty sure it's the Eagles.
Yeah, it's the Eagles. Whoever the guy in Texas was, I think was the Eagles.
That's Josh McCown. I'm pretty sure he's making like $12,000 a week or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. No, he's doing really well for himself. All right, I got to pick a guy. Driscoll against the Jets. I just think Driscoll is going to pick it up against. I don't trust anybody playing against that Jets defense to not have a good game. I'm going to go Herbert against the Bucs. I think the Bucs are going to get after him. All right. Did you guys feel you guys did your DraftKings for this? Steve, you got to give us one. Who do you like? You can pick one of ours too, since you're not in our official.
I like Darnold because he's a Jet and they're terrible.
You think you're going to get All right. That's fair. All right. DraftKings picks. You guys set your captains already? You set your lineups for tonight's game?
Yeah.
Before we do that, let's pick games. Let's pick the winner. Who you guys got tonight in this game? Steve, you want to go first? Ravens, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
You're going Chiefs, just like that. Not even thinking about it. Okay.
I know a lot.
You do know a lot. Chiefs won the Super Bowl. That's what you know. Good. Lonnie, who you got?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Chiefs. All right. It's in Baltimore too, I think, right?
Believe so.
Okay. Vital, what do you think?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well.
So you guys are leaving me on an island alone tonight. I'm taking the Ravens. We aren't even doing game picks for our competition. Maybe we should do that during the playoffs or something. But I wore all black tonight because I had the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I think this is gonna be the game that breaks the tiebreaker between them and the Chiefs. I bet they both finish with the same record. But the Ravens are going to have a tiebreaker. They're going to have home field advantage. By the time that comes around, they might even have fans in the stadiums. So I'm going Ravens.
So who's your team captain then?
All right. So my team captain, since I picked the Ravens, I picked Lamar. Lonnie? Lamar? Who you got?
I picked Patrick Mahomes as my team captain. Gonna get some TDs.
Okay. All right. It's going to be interesting. Last week it came right down to the wire again for DraftKings. So – by the way, I can't figure out how to calculate, or I screwed up somehow in calculating the point total for the whole year. So we're not doing that as any kind of bonus points. So it's just going to be straight up wins and losses, or first, second, and third for each week.
Okay.
But I am keeping track of all those points. We'll have an update maybe next week on where the standings are in terms of our competition. All right. Anything else you guys want to add in before we wrap this episode? I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. I can't wait for tonight. Wrapping up probably one of the best weekends of sports that I can remember.
Yeah.
Conference championship games, the Lakers, the Heat. It's just and then tonight, Ravens and Chiefs. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be such a fun weekend. Or it has been such a fun weekend.
So just in Miami, we've got the Heat going to the finals. The Marlins making their first playoffs since 2003. By the way, the Marlins have only made the playoffs twice before in their history, and both of those times they won the World Series. We have the Hurricanes beat the Seminoles 52-10, and the Dolphins won the quadruple.
Something magical's happening in South Beach.
Good weekend for Miami sports. All right. Well, we have been fantaCTE. Thank you guys all for listening. Anybody who follows us and listens to us, we're available on YouTube. You can watch us on our YouTube channel, fantaCTE. That's capital CTE. We're also available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Podcasts, Overcast. That's all I can remember for now, but there's a whole bunch of other ones too. So,
Sign my cast.
And what? What'd you say, Steve?
Sign my cast.
Sign what? What is that?
Sign my cast. It was just another cast.
I don't know if we're even on that one, but
That's probably a sex thing, man.
yeah,
Don't get
I
on
don't think
that.
that's at all. That's just a weird Steve thing. That
I got it, Steve. I got it. I caught it.
Cheesy, but Ronnie picked it up. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks again.
All right, guys.
All right.